Good day, sir. Today we'll be providing a report on the topic of volleyball. This report consists of 5 parts, which is the history of volleyball in the Philippines, basic fundamental skills, basic rules, and the facilities and equipments. So let's start with the history of the volleyball.
Good day, sir. I am Jaquilo and I will reporting the history of volleyball. Volleyball has its origin in the late 19th century when William J. Morgan, a YMCA instructor in Massachusetts, created the sport as an alternative to basketball. In 1895, Morgan blended elements of basketball, tennis, and handball to develop a game that involved passing a ball over a net. Initially named mental net, it later became known as volleyball due to the characteristics volleying of the ball between teams. The first official game of volleyball was played in 1896, and by 1900 the sport had spread to various YMCA centers. The rules were further formalized, leading to the establishment of the United States Volleyball Association in 1928. Volleyball's popularity continued to grow, and it became an Olympic sport in 1964 at the Tokyo Games. Over the years, the sport has seen modification in rules and techniques, and it has become a widely played and watched sport globally, with various leagues and tournaments at both amateur and professional levels.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mitch HIRCH, Digo, and I will be reporting about the volleyball in the Philippines. The history of volleyball in the Philippines roots back to the year 1910, where the physical director of the YMCA, Elwood S. Brown, first introduced the volleyball to the Philippines. Filipinos began playing it as a recreational and a sport. Beach volleyball soon followed. Filipinos made a significant contribution to the volleyball in its evolution as a professional and international game. The Filipinos continued playing volleyball up to the modern day period in its status as an independent republic since 1946 to the present year.
With this, I will be reporting about the basic fundamental skills of volleyball. First up is we focus on the art of serving. Players began with the ball in hand, executed a controlled toss into the air, and skillfully hit the ball over the net with an open hand. This fundamental skill is crucial for initiating plays and putting pressure on the opponents. Next is the passing. Players were trained in the forearm pass, also known as the bump, emphasizing proper hand positioning and straight arms. They practiced using their forearms to bump the ball accurately towards a teammate. Effective passing is the essential for setting up successful attacks. The next skill is setting, where players learn to hold their hands above their heads, forming a triangle with their fingers. Using their fingertips, they skillfully set the ball for their teammates, ensuring precise and controlled plays. Next is hitting. The hitting or spiking component involved players jumping and delivering powerful hits over the net with an open hand. The focus was on aiming for areas where opponents would struggle to return the ball, contributing to offensive dominance. Next one is the blocking. Defensive strategies were honed through blocking exercises. Players practiced jumping and raising their hands to block opponents' spikes. The emphasis was on teamwork, as players collaborated to create a formidable defensive barrier. The next one is digging. Digging skills were sharpened, with players using their fist or open hand to prevent the ball from hitting the ground. Quick and low digs were emphasized, ensuring control and effective ball management during intense rallies. The next one is rotation. In terms of positioning, players were educated on the importance of rotation. When the team won the serve, players were instructed to move clockwise, maintaining the proper order in the court or for optimal performance. The next one is footwork. To enhance overall agility and responsiveness, Players focus on footwork, staying on their toes and ready to move quickly. They position themselves strategically to approach the ball effectively for both hitting and passing. The next one is communication. A cornerstone of successful teamwork was highlighted. Players were encouraged to talk to their teammates, coordinating movements and using simple signals or calls to avoid confusion during fast-paced matches. And the last one is teamwork. Last but certainly not the least, the session underscored the significance of teamwork. Players learn to work cohesively, covering each other's position and providing support during plays. The essence of teamwork was reinforced as an indispensable component of a winning strategy.
Good day everyone, my name is Michelle E. Candelansa from 2B, and now I am going to report about the basic rules of volleyball. Volleyball has a set of basic rules that govern the game. 1. Teams. 2 teams with 6 players each play on opposite sides of the net. Volleyball is a team sport in which 2 teams of 6 players are separated by a net. Each team tries to score points by grounding a ball on the others under organized rules. 2. Scoring. Points are scored when the ball hits the ground on the opponent's side. A point is achieved every time the ball hits the ground on the other team's side of the court. Regardless of who served the ball, scoring continues until one team reaches 25 points and has a 2 points advantage over the other. A point is also scored if the opponent commits a rule violation. If a player commits a minor rule violation, the other team is awarded a point and the player is also carded, which means they have to set out for a period of time. 3. Serve. A player serves the ball over the net from behind the back boundary line. The attack line or 10-foot line marks the area a back row player must stay behind during a serve. The service line is parallel to the end line and is located 7 feet and 11.5 inches from the net. 4. Rotations. Players must rotate clockwise when their team wins the serve to be in the correct position. When a team wins a point or before starting serve, the serving team rotates clockwise. As soon as players leave their positions before the ball is served, it is considered overlapping or out of position. 5. Hits per side. Each team can hit the ball up to 3 times before sending it back over the net. Each team is allowed to hit the ball 3 times before the ball must be returned. A player is not allowed to hit the ball twice in succession. If the ball hits the boundary line, then the ball is deemed to be in play. 6. Net crossing. Players cannot touch the net with any parts of their body. In volleyball, it is a fault if a player touches the net with any part of their body while the ball is in play. 7. Foot faults. Serving or spiking, player must not step on or over the service line. When a player steps on or over the service line during a serve, he or she commits a foot fault. 8. Double hits. A player cannot hit the ball twice in a row, except for a block. A player may not hit the ball 2 times consecutively except when blocking, provides the contact that take place simultaneously. 9. Out of bounds. The ball is out if it lands outside the boundary lines. These lines are referred to as boundary lines, and therefore, any ball landing outside and beyond the limits are out of bounds. Winning assets. 10. Winning assets. The first team to reach 25 points and leading by at least 2 points wins the set. The team that first reaches 25 points with a minimum lead of 2 points wins the set. There is no ceiling, so a set continues until one team gains a 2-point advantage. Matches are typically best of 5 set. Volleyball games are typically played in a best of 5 format, which means that the first team to win 3 sets wins the match. However, some matches, especially at lower levels of play, may be played in the best of 3 format, which means that the first team to win 2 sets wins the match. Thank you.
Starting with facilities. We have both indoor and outdoor or beach volleyball. Indoor volleyball. Volleyball court. A rectangular court divided into 2 halves by a net. And the net placed vertically over the center line dividing the court. Antennas, vertical extensions from the net marking the playing area's boundary. The next facility is outdoor or beach volleyball. Beach court is smaller than the indoor volleyball court. Now, smaller at 16 m by 18 m set up on sandy surfaces. So those are the facilities of the volleyball. Now, let's look at the equipment that players and officials use during a volleyball game. First is volleyball. Standard volleyball made of leather or synthetic material with a circumference of 65 to 67 centimeter and a weight of 260 to 80 grams. Next is volleyball shoes. Athletic shoes designed for volleyball's unique movements, offering support and traction. Third equipment is knee pads, protective gear for the knees to prevent injuries during dives and slides. Next is jerseys or uniforms. Matching teamwear for easy identification. Ankle bracer. This is optional. Some players use ankle braces for added support and injury prevention. Next is scoreboard. Keeps track of points during matches. Next is whistle. Used by referees to signal the start, stop, and rule violations. Next is first aid kit. Basic medical supplies for treating minor injuries. Bull court. For transporting and storing volleyballs. Next is boundary markers. Used to mark court boundaries in practice or recreational games. Volleyball net system. Includes antenna, net tensioning device, and height adjustable net for official play. Next is line judges flags. Assist in making boundary and antenna calls in official matches. Ball pump. Inflates volleyballs to the correct pressure. And the last one is tape measure. Ensures the court dimensions comply with regulations. And that's also for our report about the volleyball. Thank you and goodbye.